Today, Red Hood is going to fight against Nightwing, Tim Drake, Orphan, and Batman to protect his team of zombies. Yep, all of that is actually about to happen. This is Comicstorian. I take comic books, I turn them into an audio drama, we cut down on the number of panels, we cut out the text, and we cut out the B-plots. And the purpose of this is to allow you to understand what is happening in the comics as I read them back to you with a narrative, but it also allows you to go out and buy these comic books, adding them to your collection. Today we're going to be continuing Task Force Z. The general idea here is that there was an event in the Batman comics called A-Day. A-Day was when Arkham Asylum blew up and all the villains within it died. At this time, a serum known as Lazarus Resin was created. And if you give enough to somebody, they will revive from the dead. But if you give them a little bit, they'll turn into a zombie. Well, Red Hood was recruited by Amanda Waller to run Task Force Z, which is a group of zombies. They give them a little bit of the resin, and that makes it so that Red Hood is in charge of a zombie Bane and a zombie Mr. Bloom. When we last left off, we discovered that Harvey Dent was working for Amanda Waller and controlling Task Force Z, and had sent Red Hood and the team to a place known as Powers International. But when he went there, he discovered that they were actually working off the books and that there was a different zombie team already being funded by Powers International. And on top of that, KG Beast had a team that was sent in to kill them. All three of these groups, Red Hood's Task Force Z zombie team, the opposing zombie team, and KG Beast mercenaries are about to fight over the remaining Lazarus resin, which is used to make the zombies. So let's get into Task Force Z 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if you want early access, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/comicstorian. When we last left off, Red Hood and Celia were in a standoff, which had turned into more of a standoff to see who would drop their weapons first, when there was a third party that decided to involve themselves. KG Beast with his own team, informing them that nobody is leaving here. Red Hood turns, "What the hell is this?" And Celia yells to call off the goons, but Beast tells them both that he's sorry if he wasn't clear enough for them. "I am here for all of you." Red Hood looks right at him. "Look, everyone needs to remain calm. We can all walk out of here." But no sooner than he can finish that sentence, Man-Bat crushes the head of one of Celia's guards. Red Hood tries to tell Man-Bat to stop, but KG Beast tells him, "Finally, I was wondering when the fun would begin." An all-out brawl begins between the three groups, fists beginning to fly, with Dr. Celia trying to make her escape. She manages to hide behind some lockers when Bloom asks her if she is also looking for a hiding spot. "Not the most inspired leadership that I have ever seen." Now, they both know that her Powers International security detail is about to literally be devoured by either of the two groups of literal monsters. But if she could remove his power-dampening collar, she asks, "Are you out of your diseased mind? Why would I trust you?" At that moment, one of the guards' heads is tossed by her feet, and Bloom tells her, "We are on the same side, the ones who want to keep their heads." But back out in the lab, KG Beast's team of monsters quickly begins to take over Red Hood's team of monsters, leaving him as the sole survivor of the fight for his side. Red Hood looks him up and down. "Look, it's gonna take a lot more than that to bring me down. What will it take for me to get my team out of here so that we can finish our mission?" Solomon Grundy punches Red Hood with KG Beast telling him, "There seems to be a misunderstanding. Finishing your team is my mission." Later, back at the headquarters of Powers International, Jerry Powers answers her phone yelling that she doesn't care. Find Dr. Shelley. She can't have this getting out. She's pretty sure that his career can't handle another freaking crap storm from the press. She hangs up the phone stating that she swears it's something every day. But off in the shadows, Mr. Bloom walks out, telling them that it's so hard to find good help these days, isn't it? From what I understand, you're on the market for a new scientist. And it's a little bit later that Red Hood wakes up to find himself chained to a pipe. What the hell is going on? KG Beast flips on the monitor and Amanda Waller appears, telling Red Hood that she expected better of him. But they both know that he's running a team of flesh-eating monsters for Two-Face. And that's a step up for the Red Hood. He shouts, asking, "We're working for the same people! You just can't stand someone else playing your little games and threatening your little power plays." Waller tells Beast to give their friend a headache, and KG Beast cracks Red Hood across the jaw. She says that she's going to correct him on a few things. First off, she doesn't care about power. She's leaving for good. Just cleaning up a couple of pieces of Gotham is just her parting gift. Secondly, she never screwed up. And finally, he won't be getting out of here. KG Beast finished things with Red Hood. Hanging beside him, Deadshot begins to yell, "Leave him alone!" And he begins to tear his arm off of his wrist. KG Beast aims, taking his shot, and Deadshot jumps in the way, and Waller yells, "Damn it! I wanted Lawton recovered! Just finish Red Hood and burn the site down. Make sure to get everything to the labs." And once the monitor turns off, Beast slams his knife into Red Hood's side. "Waller's just playing you, Beast!" "No, it is you who is being played. Where is your employer now? Where is the good Harvey Dent to come and save you?" And at that moment, joined by the undead Bane and Freeze, Harvey Dent flips his coin. "Funny you should ask." Red Hood begins to laugh, asking, "Do you think you can just kill me before you deal with them?" Beast turns around, throwing his knife into Bane's head. "No, after. Is this supposed to be your rescue party? 2 corpses and a manic depressive. I was hoping for the Bat or someone actually scary." While KG Beast is focusing on shooting at Harvey Dent, Red Hood swings on his chains, wrapping his legs around Beast's neck. This gives Bane enough time to get back up and grab Beast by the legs, slamming him into the wall. "That's enough! We need him alive!" And as Bane is squeezing KG Beast's neck a little bit more, he lets go. "No, we didn't." Beast begins to laugh, and Red Hood asks, "What is?" And as Beast reaches for the switch on his belt, Red Hood tells Freeze to put an ice shield up now! Once the dust settles from the Beast's bomb, Dent tells Bane that he doesn't care. Get him out. As Bane lifts the debris that landed on Red Hood, Dent goes on telling them that that was quick thinking with Freeze. That's why he's team leader. They should probably get moving before anyone else shows up. Bane then goes to pick up KG Beast's body, with Red Hood asking, "Why are we taking him?" And Dent says, "Because he belongs to them now." Red Hood looks around, asking what about everyone else, and Dent tells him that this is it. Deadshot's brain was destroyed. They can't find Sundowner or Man-Bat's head, and who the hell knows where Bloom went. Once everyone is loaded up, Red Hood shouts that once they get back to the chop shop, they're going to have a nice, long talk. And Dent tells him, yes, you're welcome for saving your life, by the way." As Bane looks out the back window, he says that they're about to have a problem, and Dent looks in the rearview mirror, seeing the Batmobile. "Well, how do we handle Batman? Should we pull over and talk? How do we lose him?" Bane says that they should just throw KG Beast's body at him, and Red Hood tells him, "No, I'll deal with it." He jumps out of the back of the van and onto Batman's car, telling him to pull over. Batman tells Red Hood, "No." Red Hood begins to pry his way in, with Batman stepping on the brakes, flinging Red Hood off. "All right, have it your way." After bouncing down the road, Red Hood picks himself back up, but Batman steps on his back. "Stay down and listen. I didn't come here to fight, but I did come here to stop you. You're following some bad men down a very bad path." Red Hood swings at him. "It's my path to walk." And Batman deflects it. "Not in my city, it's not." The two go back and forth, exchanging punches and kicks, with Red Hood asking, "Why can't you just trust me? If there's no hope for my team, then there's no hope for me. So the choice is yours. Fight us, and if you win, take us all to Arkham or Blackgate. But it's all of us. Otherwise, we have something we need to stop, Batman. Something bad that will hurt a lot of people. This is me asking, the man who raised me, who cares about what's right, will you just get the hell out of the way?" Batman reluctantly agrees, letting Red Hood and the others go. But once they get back to the lab, they find it destroyed and in ruins. Dent asks what the hell happened, and Red Hood says, "Who even knew we were here?" But before he could finish, there's a banging from the freezer, and when Red Hood opens it, Dahlia and Amelia yell that it's about time that they found him. It's almost been an hour. Red Hood asks who did this, and the twins tell him, "Who do you think? Bloom, and he had a small army with him. They're working for Powers International." Dent looks at the situation. "Great. How long will it take to get everything back up and running? We need to get both of these two into the infusion of resin and sort KG Beast out." Dahlia storms off asking how long, and Amelia asks, "Did you think that Bloom came for a prank? We're out of resin. Our only option is to maybe use Fishman. Bloom took his head, but we still might be able to get some residual resin out of his tissue. It'll be weak, but it'll buy us a few days with the corpses. Dent shouts, "We're screwed! Our team is dead. We're out of resin and our lab is trashed. Maybe we can talk to O'Connor. He might be able to." Dahlia returns dragging a body, asking, "Do you mean him? Bloom brought him by as well, right before he broke his spine. He said, 'I've been loyal ever since you hired me.' So I wasn't sure how much he'd have helped. When he was alive, that is. Without any real other options, Dent turns to the only person that can vouch for them other than the terrorists, Amanda Waller. Except Waller made good on her word and left her office empty. Is this whole operation screwed now? Is Task Force Z dead? Dent demands to know as Red Hood is looking at the wall of photos of Task Force Z. Almost. Waller knew before we did. But at least now we got confirmation, which means we know what our next mission is. We've been played, and now it's our turn. It's time to kill Mr. Bloom. After waking up his newly assembled team with whatever resin they had left to revive the corpses, Red Hood stares at Zombie Bane, KG Beast, and Mr. Freeze, when Bane's hand just falls off. Red Hood asks if it's normal, and Amelia tells him that they can fix it, but the resin that they were able to synthesize from the Fishman will only buy them some time. But they're going to eventually need the real stuff if they're going to keep operating. What if Bloom is really working for Powers International? We're going to be going up against an army of zombies. And Dent asks, "What do we do then?" And Red Hood tells him, "Yeah, we're going to need our own army, and with Waller out of the picture, why not take some of her team?" So after acquiring and killing all of KGB's squad, Red Hood has a bit more dead people at his disposal. But without proper resin, they're all just going to end up as shuffling corpses with no minds. But while making more synthetic resin back in the lab, Amelia and Dahlia get an unexpected guest, Mr. Freeze. Freeze looks at the packages. "Is this enough to bring one back from the dead momentarily?" And Amelia tells him that this is enough to bring someone back permanently, but they're gonna need to split it amongst the team. Meanwhile, back over at Powers International, there's a commotion at the reception desk when Jerry steps out of the elevator stating that there better be a good reason why she's here. While all of her security is pointing their guns at him, Dent is flipping his coin. "Good afternoon. I appreciate you seeing me on such short notice. Now we can go back and forth over a few things, but I'm gonna cut to the chase. Bloom is working for you. Hand him over and stay the hell out of the supervillain business." She looks him down very confidently. And Dent goes on, "Or I'll give a signal to my team of undead monsters that I have waiting in a van parked in your underground garage to come and eat an awful lot of your staff. When the feds come to clean up the mess and find these monsters are made with the product that you're developing right here, well, you'll learn like most Americans, the feds don't see much of a clear line between CEO and supervillain. I'll give you 24 hours to think over this offer, Miss Powers. After that, we go to war." After leaving Powers International, he heads back to the chop shop, telling them that it was a total failure. But he at least knew it would be. Why is everyone looking like someone died? And Red Hood says that they have a problem. Bane and KG Beast have dropped dead, but that really isn't the big problem. Freeze took it. Dent asks, took what? And Dahlia tells him that Freeze took it into his body, so they get robbed again. Freeze took all of the resin. He's alive. Again. And we're screwed. Again. Dent begins to realize what just happened. He just told the head of one of the least scrupulous corporations in the world that he was going to send an army that he doesn't have anymore since Mr. Freeze took the last of the resin to bring himself back to life. And Red Hood sighs. "Actually, I might know a location where we can get more resin, but the guy that I gave it to, he's not going to want to give it back." Later, there's a sudden crash as an armored truck plows into a semi, and Dent, Solomon Grundy, and Lady Crow jump out of the back as Dent is radioing that they've begun. How are things looking? Across town, Red Hood waits. Almost ready, and now! Directly below him, Batman speeds out of the new Batcave, with Red Hood stating that they're going to have to hold out for a bit. But seeing as it's Batman coming, they won't have to wait long. Red Hood then sneaks into the cave, but before he can get anywhere, Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, asks, "What are you doing? You turned off all the comms and refused to pull out when Batman told you that the mission was over?" Red Hood grabs one of the muffins on the desk. "I was working undercover and cleaning up a mess. Barbara asks what is the real reason that he's here in the Batcave. I was grabbing another communicator. I sort of broke mine when I was mad at Bruce. I'm really in deep here, and I just want to know that I can reach out if I need to. She sighs. Fine, I'll get you one. It'll be our little secret, okay? As she leaves, Red Hood opens up one of the containers. Sure, thank you. And after grabbing the resin, he rushes back out of the cave, but Nightwing stops him. What are you doing, Jason? Red Hood tells him that he's a little busy, and Dent yells over the radio asking, can you hurry things up? Batman just arrived and I'm not particularly in the mood of getting myself and the others beaten to a pulp by him. Nightwing jumps off the ledge. Look, whatever's going on, we can go back in the cave and clear it all up, Jason. Red Hood asks, how about you just let me walk away and trust that I'm doing what needs to be done? Nightwing stares him up and down. No. So Red Hood punches him. Yeah, I didn't think so. Nightwing spins back, kicking Red Hood to the ground, and as he looks up, he sees Tim, and Tim tells him, don't get back up. Red Hood jumps to his feet. I'm not scared of either one of you. But that's when Orphan steps out of the shadows. It's at that moment that Red Hood realizes that he is now about to fight Nightwing, Tim Drake, and Orphan, and realizes that this isn't a good idea. The three rush in, kicking Red Hood back, and he flies into a passing woman, knocking her to the ground. Everyone hurries over to help the woman up, and Red Hood says, kids these days, right? Once he gets clear of all of them, he kicks Tim away, but Orphan quickly sweeps his feet out from underneath him. He looks around, seeing Orphan standing in water, and shocks the puddle, sending electricity into her, stunning her momentarily. Tim then closes in. Look, we can all figure this out but Red Hood swings his crowbar, hitting Tim in the face. You broke my damn nose, Jason! Back across the town, Harvey Dent is telling the others that they don't have time. They have to lead now. But as Solomon Grundy jumps into the back of the armored truck, Amelia pulls off Lady Crow's mask, stating that was tough. Can't wait to get out of this dead woman's clothes and take a shower. Batman begins to pursue after them, asking Nightwing how things are going in his end. Have you taken Red Hood into custody yet? Nightwing tells him not yet. He's putting up one heck of a fight. Whatever is happening, this was just a distraction. He isn't trying to get away. Batman tells him, no, he's better than that. He's up to something. End it now. As Nightwing ends the call, he jumps in, immediately getting cracked by one of Red Hood's crowbars. But before he could fall in the way of a passing train, Red Hood grabs him. Can't have you die here. Everyone would be mad at me for weeks if you die. And Nightwing tells him, right, you remember that cheap shot earlier? Now it's my turn. He hits Red Hood so hard that his helmet flies off. Everyone surrounds Red Hood, and Nightwing tells him to give back the Lazarus resin that he took. And Red Hood tells him, yeah, about that. Orphan says that Jason has been trying to keep them off balance this whole time. He knows them all too well, playing for sympathy, taunting them, all of it. He's trying to distract them. Nightwing asks, from what? And Orphan tells him the woman. He was working with the woman with the groceries. He gave her the resin. Red Hood laughs. That is why Orphan is the one that you should all be afraid of. Nightwing leaves to report, and Tim shouts, I can't believe my nose is broken for a distraction. And Red Hood tells him, I can't believe that you can't guard against a slow overhand right. Besides, what's a few broken bones between brothers? Nightwing comes back and tells him that he just spoke to Batman. They assume whoever he gave the resin to is back at their little base. His plan was clever, but failed. Batman will be there at any second. So back over at the chop shop, Batman quietly sneaks in when he sees a note. Hi, Batman. Sorry we missed you. Love, Task Force Z. Batman radios back with his finds, and Nightwing asks, are you serious? Tim and Orphan ask what did he say, and Nightwing says that they need to bring Jason in, but they all turn around to find that Red Hood is gone and missing. Nightwing yells out, are you kidding me? And that concludes Task Force Z all the way up to Chapter 8, the big battle against the Bat family. Now you may be wondering, Benny, you said that you weren't going to be doing crazy cliffhangers. You're right, we try not to, but Task Force Z is just 8 issues of one giant story, and I thought you guys might want to know what's going on with Red Hood. Issue 9 will be out very soon, so make sure you go to your local store or to your digital retailer, and make sure you follow us on Patreon to get early access to the content that we create here. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, and I'll see you next time right here.